When they leave the game tonight, it will feel like -25 and continue dropping. It took us 6 months to get this report after it was internally released in September. Oh, there they are. I think you can hear them. Hi, guys. They're getting that water ready. The first elite runners are going to cross here at about 8:34ish. As the Des Moines Register says this morning, it is decision day. But if you take a look at this, both in Brown County and Calumet County, that is the green you see there. Packers fans, hold your breath.
Okay.
He's a Falcons fan, so hence the name Bird Bath, the Atlanta Falcons. But he has a free pool. So don't judge. Good evening, everyone, from the White House, where it is a new week here in Washington. Do you know that? I mean, you obviously know that was an old proposal. They'll receive free hand warmers, free coffee and hot chocolate. Following some new information tonight coming out of South Korea, where that country's prime minister has offered his resignation tonight, taking responsibility for that sunken ferry. This is no ordinary water balloon fight. Look at this. Grant County, Lafayette County, Richland County, and Columbia County. Those were counties that Ron Johnson won. The biggest seller, the iPhone case. The two say they're selling about 1,000 a week. Given the recent jobs reports, why should Wisconsinites believe any proposal right now coming from the administration?
Well, the truth of the matter is that...
Basically, this is an issue you created because you didn't take the money. Welcome back. A snowy downtown Green Bay as we're waking up on this Sunday morning. We want to check with the latest road conditions. Jennifer Ann Wilson has been doing that for us. She's live along Highway 41 in Winnebago County. Jennifer, good morning to you again. We're going to go live to the scene where you're looking at images of the SWAT team. You have seen a man come out with his hands up. This is live, folks, right now. Police have been on the scene for several hours trying to get the man out of the house. You see him arrested, being placed into cuffs. The SWAT team has been on scene in the 1200 block of Mather Street for several hours. Our photographer on the scene several hours ago, probably about an hour ago, saw several people walk out he believed were children and a mother. This incident all happened around 3 o'clock this morning. Police say the suspect had a gun. There was an incident at a different location. After that, he came to this home in the Mather Street location where they are right now. He's been held up inside the home for several hours. Police were using a loudspeaker trying to get in touch with the man, telling him to come out. That lasted several hours, about 7:40, 7:45, somewhere in there. We saw people walk out of the home, but the man remained inside. Police were cautioning people in this area. Several blocks have been blocked off to stay inside their homes, not come in the area because they didn't know how dangerous the situation was going to get. As we're seeing unfold live on the air right now, it's looking like it's ending peacefully. And they are off. 6,000 runners about to embark on that half marathon. The full marathoners have been at this now for an hour. We want to welcome you outside the WBAY studios. We are at mile marker 20 for the full marathon. Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Smith.
And I'm Rebecca Schultz.
Temperature-wise, we have a bit of a breeze, as you can probably hear a little bit for the runners. A few clouds, but hey, overall not terrible.
Yeah, some of those sprinkles that we're approaching from
the temperature is not bad for the runners. Let's head on back to the starting line where our Patrick Nelson is live for us this morning with more details. Patrick, good morning to you. All right, Patrick, up close and personal to all the runners this morning. Marathon organizers have made it easy for all of us to track runners as they're going throughout the course this morning. Let's take a look at Dave Schrader. He is running the full marathon, one of our sports reporters. You can see here at mile 5, he clocked in at 7:41 this morning. Twitter has been down for a little bit, but they're working to update that and keep that process going for you. We're going to have more coverage of the 15th annual Cellcom Green Bay Marathon, including from our water stop here, the beach party, coming up, but we do want to check some other headlines as we wake up on this Sunday morning. Menasha police are asking your help finding a missing motorcycle. Officials say the bike was stolen from the parking lot in the 100 block of Washington Street around 2:30 yesterday morning. Today is graduation day for about 450 graduates at St. Norbert College in De Pere. Commencement ceremonies get underway at 11:30 at the Schulte Sports Center in De Pere. A live broadcast of the ceremony will be available on the live stream website. Nearly 100 Wisconsin veterans are in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. this weekend, being honored for their service. Let's take a look at some of the video. The vets departed on a Freedom Honor flight from La Crosse yesterday. That trip took them to the World War II Memorial and the historical monuments in our nation's capital. They're going to arrive back home tonight to a crowd of cheering fans. This is the 13th Freedom Honor Flight since the program's start back in 2008. We're going to have much more live coverage from mile marker 20 and the start of the Cellcom Green Bay Marathon and Half Marathon. Our beach party is just getting underway. Here's a live look at the starting line. Hey, in just a matter of minutes, 6,000 people have made their way onto the course. More news and weather after the break. Stay with us on this Sunday morning. Let's talk about prizes for a second. Hey, if you finish this in first place, a man or a woman, you get $3,000. Second place, $2,000. Third place is a nice $1,000. Here at the water station, we have that beach theme going on because we're mile 20, the WBAY sponsored water station. One of our promotion guys, he has a squirt gun made out of a camera that, I mean, today's conditions not terrible, but once you get it closer to 11, 12 o'clock, you're gonna hear that. We hear the cheers, folks. Let's watch as some of these runners come in as we wake up on this Sunday morning. I see the car coming. That means we are just moments away from the first runner to be coming by. Folks, these guys are running fast. They're gonna finish a little after 9 o'clock. Here we go. You are led by motorcycles, a police presence to ensure everyone's safety and the safety of the runners. We have a bike team, as you're gonna see, come in the foreground. Here they are, folks, leading the runners. We're gonna try to get a bib number so we can let you know where they are from, who they are from. It is a close race, folks. We have two of them who are gonna come into your frame any second now. You can hear the cheers. Let's take a listen. There they are. This is gonna be neck and neck, folks, as we watch this race as they go by mile marker 20. There is 6 miles left in this race. They have the Gatorade here, they have the water here to pick all of up that and stay hydrated as they continue now back towards Lambeau Field. They're of course going to circle through the stadium and finish. When we return, we will have a check of today's headlines plus Rebecca's forecast. Stay with us. This weekend, a number of Northeast Wisconsin Republicans, they're considering their next move as 2 longtime lawmakers announced their retirements. Both State Senator Mike Ellis from Neenah and Wisconsin Congressman Tom Petri from Fond du Lac say they won't be running for re-election this November. Ellis was recently the target of secretly recorded videos showing him discussing the creation of an illegal political action committee to attack his Democratic challenger. The 73-year-old says he was already considering not running for re-election after listening to other senators retire, but the video, he says, was the tipping point. Oshkosh police say a 5-year-old child is seriously hurt after being hit by a car. The incident happened just before 6 last night in the 300 block of Foster Street. Police say the child was transported to a local hospital. An investigation is underway. Police locate a missing Milwaukee child in northeast Wisconsin this morning. 5-year-old Dominic was found safe in Manitowoc and is now on his way back to Milwaukee to be reunited with his mom. The boy's father is in custody in connection with that case. In Green Bay, a portion of Mason Street was blocked off for several hours last night after a crash involving a semi-truck. Police say the driver was trying to navigate the roundabouts near Highway 41 when the truck tipped over. The driver was transported to the hospital. It took crews nearly 5 hours to clear the truck and all of its cargo from the scene. The Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office says a massive marsh fire started with someone burning brush. That fire started just before 11 yesterday morning, southeast of the village of Brandon in the western part of the county. Officials say the fire burned about 600 acres of land. No structures were damaged, although it came pretty close, prompting firefighters to douse a few homes with water and foam. All right, so since the parade is over, we're gonna have our own little celebration this morning. I got my green mug.
See me with that
There you go.
ticker there.
I found this tie.
Thank you.
I got this tie yesterday, and someone said, "Will you wear that on the air?" And I said, "I think I know someone who will."
You're pretty excited, aren't you?
When life sets a timeline, priorities change.
I bet you it turns and then it goes that way.
The news 2 weeks ago, the cancer is growing and spreading fast.
Okay, we're going. Oh, here comes another one.
Spreading smiles, they realize, became the only cure.
All right, you ready?
4-year-old Colton Steinhorst wanted to fly. He also wanted a trip to Disney, water parks, and to give a stranger flowers. So when strangers across the country started sharing a simple online post, they created a movement helping cure a little boy's soul.
So anyways, thank you for helping us get this whole entire thing set up and fulfilling everything on his bucket list.
Colton's bucket list is quickly being crossed off from the sidelines of the football field to the soccer field earlier tonight.
So 2 to 7 can start first.
Hundreds of people, thousands of balloons help fulfill Colton's wish of a massive water balloon fight.
To be totally honest, it's through a friend of a friend that we're actually here today. And we brought out our girls. We've made 100 balloons ourselves.
It's overwhelming, honestly. It's so awesome for so many people to come together that don't even know this family.
For the time left, friends, family, and strangers will try spreading smiles.
He's probably so excited. He was so excited.
Yet always mindful of the fact a bucket list should never be made by a 4-year-old.
We've had that conversation before, many a times when he was at that door before, and he knows that the angels in heaven would take care of him, and God is up there and lots of family and we'll be with him again. So, we just try to make it as easy as possible right now for him to understand.
Stories of our grandfathers sometimes fade away. What's left to tell?
Like, give her hell. You had to make 5 feet a day.
Tom DiCarlo is telling.
January 1st, 1950, I went to mine.
The 86-year-old miner dresses in the best of times.
I tell him what I went through to raise my 3 boys and my wife and pay my bills. I went underground to work.
He dresses for the best of times because Iron County has seen better days.
2 of my grandfathers, both my grandfathers, 6 of my uncles all worked in the iron mines.
Like many along the Gogebic Range, Leslie Colasar's long lineage starts and stops here.
We're old, and we're poor, and we're few in number.
The trains no longer stop outside Hurley, the county seat. Decades ago, trails replaced the tracks that once shipped hundreds of millions of tons of iron ore across the country. The minerals, once rich in prosperity, left only as a guide.
But see, these guys got smart. They got out of here.
Census data shows the drop when the mines brought more than 10,000 people in the 40s. Then the decline from 8,000 to 7,000 to 6,000. Then in 2010, Iron County's population dropped below 6,000 people, less than 6,000 in the entire county.
Maybe we kind of knew it, but when the real numbers hit you, it's like, oh, that hurts.
The elementary school in Hurley sees some incoming classes in the 30s. Not many more graduating in the high school, sometimes half the size of their parents. I want you to raise your hand if you think you will see yourself in this area in 10 years. 2 of you.
Our greatest export here is our youth, my family included.
There's a lot more jobs in the cities than there is back home. And as you can tell, there's less kids in the classes, there's less parents having kids here, and it's just shrinking.
When he's completed with college, we don't expect him back. And that's tough to take.
In Iron County, those who have stayed make an average $25,000 a year. Tourism and logging provide the few jobs available. The county's unemployed, the second highest in the state.
Lots of people apply for the good jobs around here when they're available.
Since the 1920s, the Liberty Bell in downtown Hurley has maintained a business and kept a family.
We actually both left and went to school, so we chose to come back.
Now, for the first time in decades, hope rises from stories past that the jobs of their grandfathers could once again be theirs.
If there was jobs around here, I'd definitely love to stay just because I love the area.
As the red iron fades, left only to history.
That's the iron ore. So actually this blueprint probably was underground.
A new era of mining could return Hurley's Silver Street to gold.
We got some good talent. The young kids here, they're going to come back.
In Iron County, Matt Smith, Action 2 News.
The FBI says access to the temple could still be closed off for several days. It is still several blocks from where we are standing. FBI agents have been inside all day, as they were all night. The attention now turns to the 6 victims and the man who shot them, as federal agents look for clues and point to domestic terrorism and possibly white supremacy.
Ranjit Singh, 49 years old, male.
The morning briefing is a time for questions.
Satwan Singh Kaleka, 62 years old, male.
For the more than 24 members of the Sikh community who show up.
Prakash Singh, male, 39 years old.
The reality is in the answer.
We know everybody. We know everyone.
The terrible event that we witnessed yesterday should not be a part of America.
Police tell of 40-year-old Wade Michael Page trying to kill more, acting alone and shooting Oak Creek Police Lieutenant Brian Murphy up to 9 times.
The officers did a officer rescue, provided cover, and carried him to a squad and got him out of the scene, even though he was trying to get them to go into the temple.
Federal authorities reveal Page used a 9mm handgun, which was bought legally, saying they're working to interview anyone who knew him.
We are looking at ties to white supremacist groups.
As the briefing ends, a community still questions. One rooted in equality and justice, searching for the toughest answer. Why?
It's just shocking, to see, there's people like this in America, so.
That lieutenant, who was shot between 8 and 9 times, is in stable yet serious condition at Milwaukee Area Hospital tonight. Neither local nor federal law enforcement would speculate yet on a motive, but they spent the day reassuring the Sikh community that all of the attention of the FBI is here. Reporting live in Oak Creek tonight, Matt Smith, Action 2 News.
I probably would have just picked one.
Along the information superhighway, UW Green Bay student Becky Sen considers herself a pretty good navigator.
That's why I try to pick where I'm going. I'm like, is this place kind of sketchy?
We found Becky at Kavarna, a coffee shop in downtown Green Bay. She's here, in the lower left-hand side of your screen. And here's Eric Christensen, just a few tables away.
I mean, he just seemed like a typical businessman that came here.
But Eric, a software engineer, is with us, along with his brother Elliot, the co-founder of Green Bay Net, a web agency in Green Bay.
Been able to trick this into working before.
Alongside a little lunch and coffee.
The hardware you see right here is about $60 to $70.
They've set up their own Wi-Fi network to show how easy a hacker can lure people in.
I am up and running. Awesome. Yay.
Eric and Elliot's Wi-Fi network is called New Kavarna Wi-Fi, very similar to the coffee shop's safe and legitimate one called Free Kavarna Wi-Fi.
So I made mine nice and pretty, camel case letters, capital N on the new, capital K on Kavarna.
I would think okay, the free one is probably old, so it says new, so I'd click on the new one.
Once customers start clicking on Eric and Elliot's connection,
if it's plain text, I can get all of that.
Anything they send or receive goes through the brothers.
Then he could make a targeted attack towards you.
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
And they do. Within Eric and Elliot's network are fake websites like Facebook. Here's what happens.
So if I am a Joe user.
When someone tries logging on.
At gmail.com and I hit log in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good your password is either.
So it attempts to log in and it's going to go to this failure page here.
The username and password wasn't sent to Facebook. It was sent to this little box.
As soon as they log into Facebook, I got it. And you can see I started out most of the email address, but this is the joeuser@gmail.com.
In about a half hour on a Saturday afternoon, Eric and Elliot had more than half a dozen usernames and passwords. The program they created automatically erased most characters. Real hackers wouldn't have.
Oh, it's criminal right away. So I mean, if we actually took these, if we collected these passwords and didn't star them out, that's illegal.
The hacking you just witnessed wasn't done in a secret basement or government agency.
It's a credit card sized computer.
It was, as Becky put it, by that typical business guy, a few feet away.
Yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with.
The guys say they could have just as easily created a fake banking website, email, you name it, like they did and you just saw for Facebook. We want to thank Kavarna for allowing this test in their coffee shop. It leads to Eric and Elliot's first tip. Verify and trust the establishment's Wi-Fi. A lot of stores and restaurants post their network's name. And here's another simple tip. Look at the website's name right here. Make sure it has a little security icon and that the letters start with HTTPS. If we bring up Eric and Elliot's Facebook page right here, you can see there is no lock or HTTPS. That's a big warning sign. The guys gave us a few other really simple tips, including which sites are better protected. We've posted all of that information on WBAY.com.